Hello everyone and welcome back to Beatley Tones, Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video and I hope you're all doing well. If you're wondering why my face is like a little bit red, I've just come back from a week away on holiday and this is what you call a ginger person's tan. But I'm here, you're here, and one hand clapping is here as well. We've got the 2 LP version, which I'm hoping has also got the 7-inch EP in it as well, and we've got the 2 CD version as well. So we're going to get both of those unboxed in a minute. I had a delivery slot of 10 AM to 2 PM, and British Royal Mail, being what it is, of course it turned up just before 2 PM, so I've been waiting around for it all morning, but it's here now. What isn't here is my one hand clapping merch. I'd ordered the sweater, which I was hoping to wear in this video, but it's not arrived yet, so I haven't got it, so that's it. What I'm not going to be doing in this video is reviewing the album, because you know, if you watch my channel before, then you know I like to play the album a few times and customize myself with it before I sort of give an honest review of it. So that'll be coming sort of early next week, when hopefully I'll be able to wear my one hand clapping sweater, but who knows. What I'm going to also be doing in this video is talking a little bit about the differences between the tracks that are on this album, compared with those that have already been released. Now, quite a few tracks from One Hand Clapping have been released on various Paul McCartney archive editions, and you know, the whole thing has sort of been out on bootleg for years and years and years, but there are differences between those versions and the versions that are in on this album. Firstly, all the tracks have been remixed, and certain sort of overdubs that they did at the time that were mixed out previously have been included. I'll be going through those track by track once we've got everything unboxed. Before we get on with it, I just want to say a big thank you to all the new subscribers who have subscribed recently. There's been quite a few of you. Welcome to the channel, and I hope you enjoy the content here. Okay, let's get on with it then, shall we? So if you're not familiar with the story or the history of One Hand Clapping, I'll try and briefly explain it. So Paul McCartney and Wings have come back from Nashville. While they're in Nashville, they've been recording Junior's Farm and Sally G, and I think the Country Hams songs as well, the Walking in the Park with Eloise and Bridge Over the River Sweet, those tracks. In August 1974, they go into the Abbey Road studios for 4 days. The 2 new members of the band, Jimmy McCulloch on lead guitar and Jeff Britton on drums. And I think the main purpose of these 4 days in Abbey Road is kind of twofold. I think, you know, on the one hand, Paul is like testing out the new lineup with thoughts of going out on the road. Now, they didn't actually go out on the road until 1975, the following year, after they'd recorded Venus and Mars. But the main purpose of these sessions was to make a TV documentary, maybe, or just a TV film of them playing live. Now, they called it a kind of a live studio album, or the making of a live studio album, and those two terms sort of contradict themselves a bit, live and studio, but it basically means they were playing live in the studio, but there was no audience. So that was the main purpose of it, to make this TV documentary, which they did. And although it was never ever shown on TV, because no TV companies were interested in taking it. Now, if you have the Paul McCartney Archive Collection deluxe box set of Band on the Run, then the bonus video disc that is in there, the DVD that is in there, has got the documentary that was recorded. It's not in very good quality, you know, but it sounds really good, but the picture quality is not great. It's not great. So, you know, we would hope that one day maybe this could be cleaned up and we could get, you know, a really good version of it. But there's no, just to be clear, there is no video content in this one hand clapping album. This is audio only. Okay, should we get on with it then? What should we do first? Should we do the CD first for a change? So there it is. Let you have a good look at the hype sticker that's on there. And it just says Paul McCartney and Wings One Hand Clapping live studio sessions from 1974, newly mixed and available for the first time. It's a 2 times CD, 2 CD set, recorded and remastered at Abbey Road Studios. And I'm just going to take the hype sticker off of the shrink, because I like to stick it on the actual, somewhere on the CD, get the shrink off, which is always a little bit of a faff. But anyway, okay, so there it is, naked. Not too impressed with the cover art for this, but I kind of get the point. That is the back with the track listing. Hope that focuses okay. And inside it looks like that. And let's have a look at the disc, which is, that's the first one. That is the second disc. And there's also this thing inside it as well, which in the sort of the announcement, they kind of, they called it like a TV brochure, and it sort of opens up like that. And it's got some information and some pictures of the band. And some more information there at the end, and it's sort of concertinas together. I'll probably show this, you'll be able to see this probably better when we get the LP open. Now, just one thing to mention about the CD. So the CD, the 2 CD mirrors the 2 LP version, but the tracks that are on the additional single that is in the LP version is not on the CD. No idea why. It would have been nice for CD buyers if the whole thing was available. Okay, so that's the CD. Let's get the LP open now. Okay, so the LP, I'm sorry, I've just realised that showing the hype sticker of the CD didn't focus very well, but hopefully me reading it out will help. There is the LP one, so you should be able to see that a lot better because it's a lot bigger. That's the hype sticker, which I'm just going to take off. It almost says the same thing. Paul McCartney and Wings One Hand Clapping live studio sessions from 1974, newly mixed and available for the first time. It's a 2 times 180 gram vinyl plus exclusive 7-inch edition, recorded and remastered at Abbey Road Studios, includes Junior's Farm, Wildlife, Let It Be and Blackpool. Okay, so I'm just getting that sticker off. And hurrah, it's come off in one piece, which it doesn't always. Get the shrink off. Let's talk amongst yourselves for a second. Okay, so here's this one, naked, and let's see if we can get a better close up of the track listing there. And that is the spine. And interestingly, the credit on the spine says Paul McCartney and Wings. If you remember the Band on the Run undubbed, it just said Paul McCartney. Okay, so we've got another one of these, which I'm going to read in a minute because it's quite interesting. And it's one of these where they sort of, it's not a gatefold. They just stick the two LPs inside. Okay, so this is LP1. Hype sticker goes quite nicely with the green of the inner sleeve. It's not a poly-lined sleeve. It looks like that on the back. Let's have a look at the vinyl. There it is. Close up of the label. Okay, that's LP1. And LP2 looks very much the same. Actually, it's that way up. Not a polyline sleeve, but it slipped out quite easily. That's side 3. There's the label with the track listing. And side 4 label. Okay. Right, now let's have a look at the 7-inch single, or it's more of an EP really. I think there's 6 tracks on it, I think. I'd call that an EP. Okay, so here is the 7-inch single. Now, the 7-inch single was not available anywhere apart from on paulmccartney.com, and it was interesting that they put out a 2 LP version with the single and one without the single, and there was only like £5 difference between the two, which is like it's a proper price for a single. Go back to Now and Then, and a 7-inch single with only 2 tracks on it was like £14 to £18, depending on which version you bought. So it comes in this sort of replica EMI tape box sleeve design. That is the back with the track listing on it. It's kind of known as the backyard tapes, and as I say, it's a real shame that these weren't included on the the CD version. But I think let's have a look. Yeah, so I think this is side 1, although it doesn't actually say. That is a single there. So you've got 3 tracks on there: Black Paul, Blackbird, and Country Dreamer. And on the other side, you've got 3 tracks as well. You can read that. I'm Too Tired to Rock, Peggy Sue, and I'm Gonna Love You Too. Okay, so that is the LP version. Now, I wanted to kind of read the sort of brochure. It's it's about the same size, but it hasn't got the fold in it like the CD version has. So I'm not sure if I need to show the whole thing again, but there it is. But let me tell you what it actually says. So the first introduction, it just says Wings. One Hand Clapping is a video documentary directed by David Litchfield concerning 5 musicians working in a recording studio. The 5 musicians are, or were, Paul McCartney, Lyndon McCartney, Denny Laine, Jimmy McCulloch, and Jeff Britton, and form a rock and roll band called Wings. Are you sitting comfortably? Also in the studio were 2 other musicians, an orchestra, and a dog. One of the musicians was called Howard Casey and he played saxophone. The other was called Del Newman and he conducted the orchestra. The dog was called Poppy and didn't really do very much at all. The studio at number 3 Abbey Road, London is where the Beatles recorded their first album, Please Please Me, in 1963, and the studio hasn't been painted since then. Jeff Emerick, the recording engineer, said it would ruin the acoustics, and then it's got a translation of that in French and in German, which is quite nice as well. And so there's a quote from each of the musicians as well, so I'll just read you that. It's very short. It says, so Paul McCartney, obviously first, he says, "I like working with a gang of people. I like a little team. The fun of having a cup of tea together and getting your heads down and working on a piece of music. I've never been a solo performer, so it's natural for me to find myself a group that has also got a French and German translation as well as it has for each of the members of Wings." Okay, Linda's quote is, "It depends on some of them. Paul shows me what to play. On others, I just get the chords, find out what the chords are and pick it up from there. Because it's you. If you don't do it, nobody can do it for you." Okay. Denny says, "After being with the Beatles, the biggest group in the world, for 10 years, and he suddenly ends up on his own. Man, it's hard to get your confidence back. But don't you feel a bit like that? You with the Moody Blues." Exactly. That's why I know exactly what he feels. Okay. Then from Jimmy McCulloch, "I want to be able to produce a monster album with Paul and the band and be proud of it. That's what I want. That's what I want. To be appreciated on record." And then finally from the new drummer, Jeff Britton. Just read this. "I was with the Wild Angels. Any band that goes up and down the motorway. That's a gigging band. You spend all those hours locked up in the back of a truck. You get pent up emotion. What happened was we got a Duff boarding house. I don't know how it happened. Anyway, Lenny's bed got nailed to the ceiling." He was pretty random when Jeff Britton. Not an ideal fit personality wise for this band, which is I expect why he didn't last very long. But yes, that was really, really random. Okay, and then finally on the back there is all the credits for the album. So it's Paul McCartney, vocals, bass, piano, electric piano, Hammond organ, Celeste, harmonium, acoustic guitar, Linda McCartney, Moog, electric piano, mellotron, tambourine, backing vocals, Denny Lane, vocals, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, Jimmy McCulloch, electric guitar, backing vocals, Jeff Britton, drums, featuring Tuxedo Brass Band and Howie Casey, orchestra conducted by Del Newman, produced by Paul McCartney. Recorded by Jeff Emerick, assisted by Mark Viers and John Barrett, Abbey Road Studios, the 24th to the 28th of August 1974 and the 30th of August as well. 30th of August. Additional recordings, Abbey Road Studios, the 1st, the 8th and 9th of October 1974. Brass overdubs recorded at Sea Saint Studios, January 1975. Okay, so the next part of this brochure is the mixing credits, and this is a little bit confusing. Firstly, because they keep missing out the word "at" on an official release. Who's proofreading this stuff? But I think you'll be able to make out what they mean. But I'll read it as it says. It says, "Mixed by Steve Orchard, Hog Hill Mill 2024, except all of you and I'll give you a ring, mixed by Jeff Emerick, Abbey Road Studios, mastered and vinyl cut by Alex Walton, Abbey Road Studios." And the next bit is very, really nice, dedicated to Denny, Linda, Jimmy and Jeff Emerick. Now, the confusing thing about the mixing credits is that the original press release said that the tracks were going to be remixed by Giles Martin, and this morning, the McCartney Legacy Twitter account posted a brilliant thread that tells us all the differences between the tracks that have been released before and the tracks that are on this album. And I'm going to read you that verbatim in a minute, but the credit of all this information is not mine. It belongs to the McCartney Legacy Twitter. I'm not sure who does their Twitter, whether it's Alan Cozin or Adrian Sinclair, but it's a brilliant thread. But they mention that the remixing has been done by Giles Martin, and I tend to believe what the McCartney Legacy is telling us, because if this brochure can miss out the word "at" 3 times, it can definitely miss out the words Giles and Martin, or remixed by Giles Martin. I tweeted the McCartney Legacy, and they got back to me really quickly, which was really good of them, and asked them about this. And they said, Giles's input was noted in the press release. I was working with only this info when I put together the track by track this morning. So that's what they said. So I thank them for getting back to me so quickly. And they came back with another little bit of information as well. And that said, no problem. We'll cover these sessions in great detail in our upcoming second volume. For your info or video, recording took place over 8 days, 6 days in August and 2 days in October, not 4 as most sources note. Paul did 2 solo sessions in August on piano and guitar. Okay, so I'm going to read the thread now, track by track, and I'll tell you all the differences. And this information, as I say, comes from the McCartney Legacy Twitter page. Okay, so track 1. One hand clapping. It's 1 minute longer than the existing version and lightly an unreleased take. Glorious extended Jimmy McCulloch guitar solo and no fade at the end. Track 2. Jet, same take as the one released on the Band on the Run archive edition, but radically different mix. Linda's Moog kicks off the track, which was mixed out of the previous version, and synth is also mixed high throughout. Also looks like a mix of 2 vocal takes. The reason why I'm giving this information is, you know, I know when it was announced, a lot of people said, oh, well, I've had the bootlegs for years and stuff, you know, so I don't really need this. So I thought it'd be interesting to let everyone know what the differences are between those versions that have been out before and the ones that we're getting now, because for those that said, you know, that they don't need it, they may change their mind. Okay, so track 3, Soily. Same take, same as the take released on the Venus and Mars archive edition, but a brand new mix made by Giles Martin. This take was a remake recorded on October the 9th, 1974, as the tape recorded in August was deemed unsatisfactory in the edit. Track 4, Sea Moon / Little Woman Love, a trimmed version of the medley cut down from 4 minutes 36 to 3 minutes 21. Existing versions of the recording begin and end with Little Woman Love, but this is the cleanest version and mix to date. Track 5, Maybe I'm Amazed, the same take as issued on the McCartney archive edition, but remixed by Giles. Track 6, My Love. This take has been available for years, but never like this. Orchestral overdubs are now present throughout that were previously mixed out. Bluebird, track 7. As per the version issued on the Band on the Run archive edition, complete with bluesy brushstrokes from saxophonist Howie Casey's, now front and centre in the mix rather than mixed hard right. Track 8, Let's Love. Brand new take, never issued before, officially or otherwise. Extracts of this piano recording also featured on Venus and Mars archive edition and the McCartney Years DVD, but this is new, short but sweet. Track 9, all of you. This recording was previously issued on McCartney Is DVD box set, but this is a new version. This version is over 20 seconds longer than the and in much better quality. Track 10, I'll Give You a Ring. Again, this was issued on the McCartney Years DVD box set many moons ago, but this new mix is much higher quality and over 10 seconds longer. Track 11, Band on the Run. The same take as featured on the Band on the Run archive edition, but a radically different mix. Jimmy's guitar is higher in the mix and instrument separation is clearer. Nice job by Giles to get the most out of the complex layered instrumentation. Track 12, Live and Let Die, nothing new here, but more balanced mix with more space for the orchestra to shine. Track 13, 1985, same version as presented on the Band on the Run archive edition, a composite take of Paul live in Studio 2 and the album version with live vocal overdub. One difference here, the very end does not crossfade with Band on the Run like it does on the album. Track 14, Babyface. The first time this has been issued complete on record. It had previously been available as 2 fragments. Complete with New Orleans overdubs courtesy of the Tuxedo Jazz Band, overdubbed on February 13th, 1975. Track 15, Let Me Roll It, gutsy performance as per the version issued on the Band on the Run archive edition, but a new mix. Track 16, Blue Moon of Kentucky. This cut could be found on unofficial releases in the past and was on acetates, cut for the members of Wings back in 1974, but gets its first official release here. Superb quality and nice to hear Jimmy's guitar solo higher in the mix. Track 17, Power Cut, the Red Rose Speedo track. Brand new cut recorded by Paul during a solo session at EMI Studio 2 on August the 28th, 1974. Track 18, Love My Baby. Paul dropped this track as a website exclusive a few years ago. It's available on CD and LP here for the very first time. Track 19, Let It Be, another brand new cut, again recorded by Macca during a solo session on August the 28th, 1974. Track 20, The Long and Winding Road / Lady Madonna, 2 more 2024 one-hand clapping album exclusives. Both recorded, yes, you guessed it, during Paul's solo session on August the 28th, 1974. Session. Imagine being a fly on the wall during that session. Track 21, Junior's Farm, new to the 2024 one-hand clapping set, a composite take of recording made in both August and October. Track 22, Sally G, another brand new track, likely recorded solo by Paul during the Backyard sessions on 30th of August 1974. Track 23, Tomorrow, exclusive to this set, another delightful solo recording taken from Paul's session at EMI Studios on August 28th, 1974. Track 24, Go Now, another track that was on the original one-hand clapping acetates and has been available unofficially for years, but it's presented here in glorious sound quality on an official set for the first time. Track 25, Wildlife, another exclusive to this new release. A tiny fragment of this track was on the one-hand clapping acetates, but the full track is presented here for the first time. Stunning cut. And the final track, track 26, High, High, High. It's always nice to end on a high. Good work, boys. And this set delivers with an unedited version of High, High, High. Previous releases featured an abrupt slap echo ending, exclusive to the one-hand clapping set. In conclusion, get ready for Paul's Polygon. This album is a cracker. Thanks very much to the McCartney Legacy boys for putting that together. It is a brilliant thread, and it helps us know what all the differences are. So the whole issue about who has done the remix, is it Giles Martin or is it Steve Orchard, is certainly a little bit of confusion that we need to get to the bottom of it. And I'm sure that Alan Cosin and Adrian Sinclair, the authors of the McCartney Legacy, will be looking quite deeply into that. So, you know, I'm hoping that I can bring you that information when I do my review video, which will be dropping early next week, and so please stay tuned for that. I imagine that listening to this album, which is the thing that I'm going to do in a minute, is going to take up a fair bit of my weekend in between the start of the Euros, the European Championship football tournament, which starts tonight, so that's very exciting as well. I'm also hoping to bring you something really special next week, but I can't tell you about it. So I will hopefully that will be happening next week as well, so please stay tuned to the channel for that. Please remember to give the video a like. It only takes a second of your life and it really helps the channel. And if you're not subscribed, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing. If you want to tell me anything about this album, whether you're getting it or whether you've got it already and you've listened to it and you want to tell me what you think of it, please do so down in the comments. Love to read your comments, and I do read all your comments, and I do respond to all your comments if they need a response. Okay, that is it from me. It's been a rather long unboxing video, but thanks very much for watching. If you've got this far through the video, you will notice that you haven't had to watch any ads, and that's because I don't allow ads to come mid-roll in my videos, you know, so you can watch the whole thing from start to finish without any interruptions. Okay, as I say, that's it from me. I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.